So, what would you do if you were walking down the street and you saw a dog tied to the bumper of a car? Would you just keep walking, or would you stop and see what was going on? Let's say that you decided to take a closer look. You walk over and see that the dog is hot and dehydrated. There's also some movement inside of the car. So you take a peek in the window and there are 7 cats inside. 5 of them are just kittens. There's also a pet carrier inside of the car. You try to take a peek at what's inside and you're shocked when you see that there's a large snake coiled up inside of it. So, you decide that you really need to get help because you know that the heat is horrible for all of the animals, and you know that they won't survive if you leave them there. So, you decide to call your local ASPCA and have them send out some animal control officers to help rescue all the pets from the car. They arrive quickly on the scene and they are ready and able to help as best as they can to rescue the animals. They're able to get all of the animals out of the car and they take them back to the local shelter. The veterinarian staff at the shelter is ready to evaluate each one of the animals. Unfortunately, all of the cats were too ill and suffering greatly, so they could not be saved and had to be put down. But the dog and the snake were nursed back to health and then put up to be adopted by a loving owner. Another thing that the animal control people told you when they came to the scene was that due to the poor nature of the cats, it is safe for them to assume that they were being used as food for the snake. So, this is a true story that was told by Stacy Rudd on the ASPCA's website. Now, not all animals that you'll find at a shelter have gone through such traumatic events like these in the story, but they all deserve and need a loving home. So, if you're ever in a neighborhood of a shelter, go in and take a look around. Maybe you'll find the pet that's right for you. Animal shelters play a crucial role in the care, treatment, and adoption of all kinds of animals. They help to educate both adults and children on the perfect way to care for and treat an animal. Through hands-on experience, volunteers will learn how to properly care for animals such as dogs and cats, hamsters, rabbits, guinea pigs, birds, even snakes and other reptiles. The ASPCA, SPCA, and Humane Society are all different types of shelters that you could possibly find in your neighborhood. Each one of them is a nonprofit organization which helps care for any neglected, abandoned, or lost animals. Other shelters, such as the ASPCA, have, like I mentioned earlier, the animal control officers. The animal control officers work side by side with police to help bring justice to those who neglect and abuse their pets. These officers also are the people who will come out to a scene where an animal is found who has been neglected, not fed, left alone, or lost. They'll help these animals, take them back to the shelter where there are the veterinary staff that will help administer vaccinations, medication, baths, grooming, food, any other kind of thing that the dog or cat or any other animal would need to get back to health. Also at the shelters, they have behavioral specialists who give each animal a temperament test, which will allow them to figure out what kind of home would best suit that animal. For example, you could figure out if a dog is comfortable around children or if it is comfortable around other pets. Another type of person that would work at a shelter is someone who would rehabilitate the injured and malnourished animals. It would be their job to help an animal relearn to walk on a leg that was maybe broken, or some animals even end up with an amputated leg, and they would help emaciated animal get back to its normal weight. Now, animal shelters do not only care for animals that have been abandoned or neglected. You can also take your family pet there to receive standard veterinary care, surgeries, or for emergency veterinary visits. They also provide obedience training in case your dog needs a little help getting to be your perfect companion. Another key thing that the animal shelters do is raise money and also help get pets adopted. The volunteers and staff spend a lot of time collecting donations and hosting events that will help promote all of the wonderful animals that they have available for someone to adopt. Because the animals have been left or neglected, most of them do not have owners who will pay for their medical charges, which means the monetary costs fall on the shelters, so they need as much help as they can get, which means volunteers or donations to help them care for all the injured and sick animals. Even if you decide to just adopt one animal, be it a guinea pig or a dog or a cat, you will make a huge difference. When you adopt a pet, you're rescuing it. You're rescuing it from the shelter and from whatever past troubles it has had. When you take that dog or cat or other animal home, you're providing it with love and stability, which will help it be happy and help it stay healthy. Every animal deserves to be adopted, and it is extremely important that everyone at least try or take a look at the animals that are available for them. When you adopt an animal from a shelter, you're freeing up space for them to help an animal that needs this help more. Somewhere out there's probably a dog that is starving or a cat that's been abandoned that needs the help of the staff at a shelter more than a dog that is just sitting waiting for someone to adopt them. No animal deserves to sit as a shelter forever. And when you adopt the animal, you're going to assume the monetary costs. So the money that would be going to that animal can go to another one that needs help. So now I probably have you thinking that it's going to cost you a lot of money to adopt an animal from a shelter. That's not true. I bet you didn't know that adopting animals from a shelter is usually a lot less expensive than if you were to get a puppy or a kitten from a pet shop or a breeder. This is because any animal that you would adopt would already be properly vaccinated and neutered or spayed, so those are costs that you no longer will fall on you. Also, any animal that is put up for adoption is healthy, so there'll be no immediate medical problems that you're going to have to deal with when you adopt the pet. Another thing about adopting a pet is that you get exactly what you're looking for. All of the animals that are available for adoption have been temperament tested and put in different situations to see how they react. So if you're looking for a dog that's going to get along really well with the other animals you already have, the staff will be able to point you in the right direction. Or if you're looking for a cat that's going to love to sit on your lap, they'll know just the one for you. When you adopt a pet, you know exactly what you're going to get, and you also get exactly what you're going to want. Adopting a pet is extremely important. Even if you take 5 minutes out of your day and you go online and you look up animals that are available at your local shelter, just see if there's anything any pet that would fit perfectly into your lifestyle. Maybe if you see one you like, you can walk down, you can drive or walk, you can go down to the local shelter and play with and meet the animals that you think are right for you. When you find that right animal that's going to be your lifelong best friend, take them home. Adopt an animal that you can be happy with. All the animals at your local shelter need your help, and they're just waiting for you to come and save them.